So, welcome to class 11, session 11 of the Sundarakandam learning series. We are in Sarga 1, we're starting shloka 72. Meru mandara sankashan, Meru mandara sankashan, Udgatan samaharnave, Udgatan samaharnave, Atyakraman महावेगः अत्यक्रामन् महावेगस्तरङ्गान् अत्यक्रामन् महावेगस्तरङ्गान् गणयन्निव तरङ्गान् गणयन्निव line by line मेरुमन्दरसङ्काशानुद्गतान् समाहार्णवे मेरुमन्दरसङ्काशानुद्गतान् समाहार्णवे अत्यक्रामन् महावेगस्तरङ्गान् गणयन्निव अत्यक्रामन् महावेगस्तरङ्गान् गणयन्निव. So now we will chant this together and see the meaning. Merumandara sankashan udgatan samaharnave atyakraman mahavegastarangan ganayan iva. Merumandara sankashan. Right? So Mahavegaha is the name for Hanuman. Mahavegaha, noun, kartrupadam. Prathama Vibhakti. What does it mean? One who is very fast. One who possesses great speed. He is Vayuputra. So he is Mahavegaha. So Mahavegaha. Maharnave. In the great ocean. Saptami Vibhakti. In the great ocean. Udgatan Merumandara Sankashan. Udgatan. Those that have risen. That have risen well. That those that have risen well. What are we talking about? In the previous shloka, we talked about the sea, the waves of the sea, how it dashed against Hanuman, how Hanuman dashed against it with his uras, with his chest, and then he moved forward, and then loud roars emanated. It looked as if a terrible storm had come up because of the waves that were rising, because of the speed of Hanuman's thighs. Right? This is what we had seen in the previous class. Now what are we seeing? Udgatan, well-risen ones. What are the well-risen ones? The waves. So in the ocean, the well-risen waves. Meru Mandara Sankashan. They were like Meru and Mandara. What are Meru and Mandara? Who can tell me?
Mountains.
Mountains. So they are the divine mountains. Right? The divine mountains. They are not comparable to the earthly mountains. They are very, very tall. So like that big. So this is essentially an upreksha. It's a poetic device to show the height, just to describe that the waves are very, very tall. So Meru Mandara Sankashan, resembling Meru and Mandara in height. Ganayan iva Atyakramat. Ganayan iva, as if counting. Ganayan iva, as if he was counting. Atyakramat, he crossed it. Kram dhatu means to cross, to go. Atyakramat, crossed over. Kram means to go. Atyakrama means Atyakramat, past tense, he crossed. So what is the meaning of Ganayan iva? Why did he count the ways as he was crossing? You know how children playfully, when they're going on a path. Say, for example, the route from my home to the library. In that route, I will see, say, 3 signals. Every time I cross a signal, I will count the signal. Children, when they are walking from their home to school, say there are a lot of steps on the way. And there are water puddles, not steps, sorry, rocks on the way. And there are water puddles between the rocks. They will jump from one water puddle to another, counting the number of rocks that they are crossing playfully. In a similar manner, those gigantic waves did not faze Hanuman. He was unfazed. What did he do? He was playfully counting the waves and crossing them. So effortlessly, not even drawing a breath of fatigue, he crossed the waves effortlessly. Ganayan iva means counting. So who is counting? Only a child will count, no? When he does something, when he does some interesting thing, when he goes on an adventure, he will count. So count the number of cars you see, we say, no? When we go out to the child, in the same way, count the number of waves that I'm crossing over. Thought, I will count the number of waves I'm crossing over. Thought Hanuman, and we cross the ocean. Okay, that is the meaning of Attikravan Mahavegaha Ganayanniva. Okay, Tarangan Ganayanniva. So we'll now move to the next shloka. This shloka meaning is clear. Tasya vega samudbhutam. Tasya vega samudbhutam. Jalam sajaladam tatha. Jalam sajaladam tatha. Ambarastham vibhabhraja. Ambarastham vibhabhraja. Ambarastham vibhabhraja. Sharadabhramivatam. Sharadabhramivatam. Line by line. Tasya vega samudbhutam. Jalam sajaladam tatha. Tasya vega samudbhutam. Jalam sajaladam tatha. Ambarastham vibhabhraja. Sharadabhramivatam. Ambarastham vibhabhraja. Sharadabhramivatam. Is it clear? Any doubts? We'll chat it together if you don't have any doubts. If you have, please ask. Tasya vega samudbhutam. Jalam sajaladam tatha. Ambarastham vibhabhraja. Sharadabhramivatam. Once more. Tasya vega samudbhutam. Jalam sajaladam tatha. Ambarastham vibhabhraja. Sharadabhramivatam. Now what is happening to the water? He is happily counting the waves and moving forward. Something is happening to the water. Tatha. Then. Tasya. His. Vega samudbhutam. Risen well because of his speed. This refers to the waves. Risen well because of his speed. Sajaladam jalam. There is a difference between the word jalada and jala. Jala means water. Correct? What does jalada mean? Can anybody say?
Waves.
Ocean? Not waves. Ocean?
Cloud.
Cloud, ma'am.
Clouds, ma'am.
Correct, cloud. Because the cloud gives water, it is called jalada. Jalam dadati. Iti jalada. Okay, now jaladam. So jalam jaladam. Jalam jaladam. Eva. So what happened? The water started looking like a cloud. How? Ambarastham atatam. As if drawn to the sky. Atatam means stretched out or drawn. Ambarastham. As found in the sky. Sharadabhramiva. Like the autumnal clouds. So the waves which were drawn up to the sky by Hanuman's speed were stretched out to almost the sky and resembled autumnal clouds which were filled with water. Sharadabhramiva. Vibhabhraja, and they shone with the brightness of autumnal clouds. Autumnal clouds are the clouds which are ready to give rain, right? So like that they have shone brightly like the autumnal clouds. So the sea water was pulled up and it started appearing like a cloud itself. That's what you should understand. Okay. So sea water which is in the ocean started appearing like the cloud which is in the sky. What kind of cloud? Autumnal cloud. Okay. So how was it pulled up? By Hanuman's speed. This is the Anvaya. This is the meaning of the shloka. It's clear and moving forward. So now water is being pulled up. After the water is pulled up, the ocean will empty itself. No. So next shloka is what happens when the water is pulled out and the ocean empties itself. Timinakrajhashah. Timinakrajhashah. Kurma. Kurmaha. But when we chant with Sandhi, Kurma. Timinakrajhashah. Kurma. Drishyante vivritastada. Drishyante vivritastada. Drishyante विवृतास्तदा वस्त्रापकर्षणेनैव वस्त्रापकर्षणेनैव शरीराणि शरीरिणां तिमिनक्रझषाः कूर्मा दृश्यन्ते विवृतास्तदा तिमिनक्रझषाः कूर्मा दृश्यन्ते विवृतास्तदा वस्त्रापकर्षणेनैव शरीराणि शरीरिणां वस्त्रापकर्षणेनैव शरीराणि शरीरिणां टुगेदर तिमिनक्रझषाः कूर्मा दृश्यन्ते विवृतास्तदा वस्त्रापकर्षणेनैव शरीराणि शरीरिणां once more तिमिनक्रझषाः कूर्मा दृश्यन्ते विवृतास्तदा वस्त्रापकर्षणेनैव शरीराणि शरीरिणाम्. I'm not able to find it. Okay, Shakuntala ji, I think it's your voice. Be on mute, please. Okay, so now we will see the meaning. Tada, thereafter. Timinakrajashaha. Timinakrajashaha refers to the collection of aquatic animals. Okay, Timi refers to the whales. Okay, Nakra and Jasha refers to crocodiles and the different kinds of aquatic fishes, etc. Okay, all the aquatic beings. Kurmaha refers to tortoises. Vastrapakarshanenaiva. By the very act of removal of the garments. Okay, as if somebody has snatched away the garments. Sharirinam sharirani. Like the body deprived of its clothing. Vivritaha drishyante. They were exposed. Vivritaha, without avarana. Vrina refers to cover. Vri, avarane, to cover. Vivritaha, without avarana, without any covering, exposed. Drishyante, they appeared. So essentially, as the sea water was pulled up, all the aquatic animals became exposed to our sight. Like they were deprived of its vastra, namely the sea waves, the waters of the sea. Okay, so it is again a poetic description of how when Hanuman went fast over the ocean, when the waves were pulled up, the aquatic beings were all exposed. Okay, I'm moving forward. Simple meaning only. Plavamanam samikshyatha. Plavamanam samikshyatha. Bhujanga sagaralayaha. Bhujanga sagaralayaha. Vyomnitam kapishatulam. Vyomnitam kapishatulam. Suparna iti menire. Suparna iti menire. Plavamanam samikshyatha. Bhujanga sagaralayaha. Plavamanam samikshyatha. Bhujanga sagaralayaha. Vyomnitam kapishatulam. Suparna iti menire. Vyomnitam kapishatulam. Suparna iti menire. Together. Plavamanam samikshyatha. Bhujanga sagaralayaha. Vyomnitam kapishatulam. Suparna iti menire. Once more. Plavamanam samikshyatha. Bhujanga sagaralayaha. Vyomnitam kapishatulam. Suparna iti menire. Atha. And then. So all the three shlokas now. then, tatha, tada, atha. All these words, they are all beginning with that only. What does it mean? Then. Atha. Vyomni, in the space. Here space is used to refer to sky. Plavamanam, one who is coursing through. Tam, that. Kapishardulam, tiger among the monkeys. That is a reference to Hanuman here. Kapishardulaha, Vanaraha, Hanuman. Samikshya, having seen. Okay, means to see. Samikshya, seeing properly. Sagaralayaha, those which have their abode as the ocean. Bhujangaha, serpents. Suparnaha iti, Garuda, menire. They thought. Okay, so they thought that, see, the serpents which were exposed now, they had an unfettered vision of Hanuman leaping across the ocean. No one had ever seen a monkey jump this kind of a distance. So the serpents were very confused. They thought it cannot be just a monkey. This must be our mortal enemy, Garuda. Again, Anantarama Dikshitar says the repeated Garuda references by Valmiki is Kshemarthi, is a Shakuna for foretelling a good omen for Rama. So that is why Garuda has been mentioned. Okay. So next we move on to, in all these shlokas, there is no major commentary. The commentators have only given basic same references, a few grammatical points and things like that, which is why I have not gone into the traditional commentaries at all so far in that class. That is. Okay, I hope the meaning is clear. Moving forward. Dashayojana vistirna, Dashayojana vistirna, Trimshat yojana mayata, Trimshat yojana mayata, Chaya vanarasimhasya, Chaya vanarasimhasya, Jale charutara bhavat, Jale charutara bhavat, Jale charutara bhavat, Dashayojana vistirna, Trimshat yojana mayata, Dashayojana vistirna, Trimshat yojana mayata, Chaya vanarasimhasya, Jale charutara bhavat, Chaya vanarasimhasya, Jale charutara bhavat. Together. Dashayojana vistirna, Trimshat yojana mayata, Chaya vanarasimhasya, Jale charutara bhavat. Dashayojana vistirna, Trimshat yojana mayata, Chaya vanarasimhasya, Jale charutara bhavat. Any doubts in the chanting? Okay. So Dashayojana vistirna, spread over 10 yojanas, with vistirna, with Trimshat yojana mayatam, Trimshat yojana mayata, Trimshat yojana, 30 yojanas in length. Ayata means the length. So the breadth was 10 yojanas and the length was 30 yojanas. Vanarasimhasya chaya, the line among monkeys, Hanuman's, chaya, shadow, jale, in the water, charutara, very beautiful, abhavat, was. So, as Hanuman was leaping across the ocean, you may ask, all that entire water was in turmoil, correct? But still, how come there is a shadow being seen when the water is all in turmoil? The sun was shining on top, and as he coursed over the ocean, the shadow fell on the ocean. Because of the turmoil, the shadow seemed to be even more magnified. As it is, the sun will magnify the shadow when it is at a particular angle, right? But with the ocean also being in turmoil, the shadow appeared very, very long. Imagine the distance between Sri Lanka to the Indian coast is only 100 yojanas that he had to cross. The shadow itself was 30 yojanas long. Correct. So the length was not of Hanuman's, but of his shadow. Correct. So the reference here is to the shadow, which was 30 yojanas in length on the reflected on the ocean. Hope the meaning is clear. Moving forward. श्वेताभ्रगनराजीव श्वेताभ्रगनराजीव वायुपुत्रानुगामिनी तस्य सा शुशुभे छाया विततालवणाम्भसि श्वेताभ्रघनराजीव वायुपुत्रानुगामिनी श्वेताभ्रघनराजीव वायुपुत्रानुगामिनी तस्य सा शुशुभे छाया विततालवणाम्भसि तस्य सा शुशुभे छाया विततालवणाम्भसि together श्वेताभ्रघनराजीव वायुपुत्रानुगामिनी तस्य सा शुशुभे छाया विततालवणाम्भसि श्वेताभ्रघनराजीव वायुपुत्रानुगामिनी तस्य सा शुशुभे छाया विततालवणाम्भसि वायुपुत्रानुगामिनी. Feminine word. Therefore, it is an adjective for the shadow. Chaya. Chaya is a feminine word. Vayuputranugamini, tasya chaya. One who was following Vayuputra. Anugamini means one who was following. Vayuputras. Tasya means Vayuputras. Hanuman's. Chaya, shadow. Lavanambasi, in the salty ocean. Vitata, appeared, spread out. Even that is a feminine word. Vitata, vitataha. Vitata. Vitata means spread out, appeared, spread out. Shvetabhra Rajiva. Like Shvetabhra Rajiv. What does that mean? Shveta, white. Abhra, cloud. Ghana, also dense. Raji, collection of, array of. So like, see, when it is about to rain, you don't just see one cloud in the sky. You see many clouds in the sky, right? So like that, there is a collection. So Ghanaraji refers to a collection of clouds. So Shvetabhra Ganarajiva Shushubhe. So the shadow itself had a lifelike quality. It seemed to shine with the radiance of a collection of rain-filled clouds. The shadow which had fallen on the ocean appeared to have a radiance of its own. That is what Valmiki is describing here. That is why Shushubhe, shone. Otherwise, and what do you call it? Hanuman can shine. Rama can shine. But can a shadow shine? A shadow is a dark object. Here Valmiki describes even the shadow as being shining because it belongs to Hanuman. That is how we must understand. Okay, so the shadow shone. That is the meaning here. Shushubhe samahateja. Shushubhe samahateja. Mahakayo mahakapihi. Mahakayo mahakapihi. Vayumarge niralambe. Vayumarge niralambe. Pakshavaniva parvataha. Pakshavaniva parvataha. Shushubhe samahateja. Mahakayo mahatapihi. Shushubhe samahateja. Mahakayo mahakapihi. Vayumarge niralambe. Pakshavaniva parvataha. Vayumarge niralambe. Pakshavaaniva parvataha. Together. Shushubhe samahateja. Mahakayo mahakapihi. Vayumarge niralambe. Pakshavaaniva parvataha. Once more. शुशुभे समहातेजा महाकायो महाकपिः वायुमार्गे निरालम्बे पक्षवानिव पर्वतः. Now Hanuman is shining. Mahatejaha, Mahakayaha. The word is Mahatejaha, word for Hanuman, the one with great effulgence. Mahakayaha, the one with a gigantic form. Saha, he, Mahakapihi, the great monkey Hanuman. Miralambe, without any support. Vayumarge, in the path of the wind, that is in the sky. What is the path of the wind? The sky. Pakshavan Parvataha, like a mountain with wings. Parvataha, mountain. Pakshavan, one with wings. So, Pakshavan Parvataha Iva, like a mountain with wings. Shushubhe, he shone, he appeared. So, how did Hanuman appear now? As his hands were spread out, his whole form was gigantic, and as he was crossing the ocean, he himself looked like a mountain. Okay, and what kind of a mountain? A mountain that is capable of flying, and therefore Pakshavan Parvataha, like the mountain that we are going to see very soon, Mainaka Parvataha is a Pakshavan Parvataha. That like that. Okay, so example Mainaka. Okay, but Mainaka is just one example. Earlier there were many mountains which were Pakshavan, so which had Pakshavantaha, which had wings. We move on to the next shloka. Yenasau yati balavan. Yenasau yati balavan. Vegena kapi kunjaraha. Vegena kapi kunjaraha. तेन मार्गेण सहसा द्रोणीकृत इवार्णवः लाइन बाय लाइन येनासौ याति बलवान् वेगेन कपिकुञ्जरः येनासौ याति बलवान् वेगेन कपिकुञ्जरः तेन मार्गेण सहसा द्रोणीकृत इवार्णवः तेन मार्गेण सहसा द्रोणीकृत इवार्णवः. So, Balavan, Asau, Kapikunjaraha, all these refer to Hanuman. Balavan, the one with great strength. Asau, he. Okay, others Shabda also means in masculine. Asau, he. Kapikunjaraha, elephant among monkeys. Vegena yena, by his speed. Margena, by the path of his, when he was moving fast on his path. Yati, proceeding. So when he was by moving quickly on his path, so he was crossing, by traversing the ocean very swiftly. So, yena, vegena, margena, yati, by the speed with which he was crossing the path. Which path? The aerial path. Tena, by that. Sahasa, instantly. Arnavaha, the ocean. Dronikritaha iva bhavati, or Dronikritaha iva asit. Dronikritaha. What do you think is the meaning of a droni? What is a droni? We know now the great guru of the Pandavas. What was his name?
Dronacharya.
Dronacharya.
Where was he born from?
Born in Drona, a pot, I think.
Pot. What kind of a pot? It's a trough. A small, what do you call? A small pot. So it's not like kumbha is where Agastya was born from. That kumbha is like the pane which we have for drinking water in summer, no? The round kumbha. That is kumbha. Drona was not born from a pot. He was born from a trough. So imagine an animal which is being given water to drink will be given the stone trough, one small trough. Okay, that trough. In the Giri book, it is written as plantain cup. It is not a plantain cup. Or whatever, some cup it is given. A plantain cup made out of plantain leaf. From what I know, it is trough. Droni Krita is a common comparison that we see. Arnava was made into a droni. is a common comparison you see. Here the comparison is that Hanuman made that mighty ocean into just a small trough. Okay, so the big ocean was just made into a small trough. Trough is a small drinking vessel. That size he made it. So essentially this shows the speed, how effortlessly he was able to cross it. Like how we would effortlessly cross a trough, he was able to effortlessly cross the ocean. That's all is mentioned here. Okay, clear? The comparison is clear, no? Okay, so now I'm moving forward. Apate pakshi sanghanam, apate pakshi sanghanam, pakshiraja iva vrajan, pakshiraja iva vrajan, pakshiraja iva vrajan, Hanuman meghajalani, Hanuman meghajalani, प्रकर्षन् मारुतो यथा प्रकर्षन् मारुतो यथा आपाते पक्षिसङ्घानां पक्षिराज इव व्रजन् आपाते पक्षिसङ्घानां पक्षिराज इव व्रजन् हनुमान् मेघजालानि प्रकर्षन् मारुतो यथा हनुमान् मेघजालानि प्रकर्षन् मारुतो यथा together आपाते पक्षिसङ्घानां पक्षिराज इव व्रजन् हनुमान् मेघजालानि प्रकर्षन् मारुतो यथा once more आपाते पक्षिसङ्घानां पक्षिराज इव व्रजन् हनुमान् मेघजालानि प्रकर्षन् मारुतो यथा आपात हनुमान् मारुतः यथा मेघजालानि प्रकर्षन् like how Hanuman Marutah yatha meghajalani prakashan. When the wind blows, Marutah yatha, like meghajalani, collection of clouds, not just one or two, but a whole collection of them. Prakarshan, it attracts. What does it mean? Wind attracts clouds. What it means is when the wind blows, the clouds get blown away with the wind. It carries the clouds. So prakarshan, attracts here means like how the wind carries the clouds and moves like that. One more example. So two examples are given. One example is like how the wind carries the clouds with it and blows. Second example is Pakshi Sanghanam Apate Brajan Pakshirajaha Iva. Pakshi Sanghanam, collection of birds. Apate, in the path of flying, in the path of, there is a sky, in the sky. Technically, it means a route of descent of the birds, but here obviously it means a sky where the birds are all flying. Brajan, while flying. Pakshirajaha, who's Pakshiraja?
Garuda.
Garuda. So like how Garuda, Prakarshan Iva. Again, the word Prakarshan has to be applied here. So Prakarshan is used two times, to be used two times. First time, like how the Maruta, the wind attracts the clouds and drags it with it. Second time, like how Garuda attracts all the birds and flies at the center of a collection of birds. In the same way, Hanuman flew. Iva Asit. How did he fly? What was flying with him? We can take it to mean all the waves were flying with him. We can take it to mean that the clouds were moving in the sky along with him. He was dragging the clouds and moving along with him. We can take it to mean that the birds which were flying in the sky were also flying along with him. So essentially everything, even the birds and even the branches, not that there are any trees in the middle of the ocean, but whatever was flying in the sky at the time, it was like he was like a center, he was exerting a center of attraction. All the moving objects were all getting attracted to him. You get it? Like when we say, no, the heavy planet attracts the heavy planet attracts the lighter stars around it, or the heavy star attracts the lighter planets around it to move in an orbit, like how we move in an orbit around the sun. And we are exerted by gravity. Okay, same way when we are on the earth, we are exerted by the earth's gravity. So like how gravitational force works, because of his size and his speed, he was exerting a gravitational force on the sky. So essentially all the objects were moving with him. He was moving with great force.
Ma'am, how would there be plants and branches in the middle of
no plants and branches were there, ma. In the Giri book, it is given plants and branches. There is no forest there. Okay, so we must take it to mean that he was like a center of gravity. He was like not center of gravity. That's not the word. He was like an object attracting other objects to him by virtue of gravity. He was attracting a pull, a magnetic pull, because of his speed and his size. Like the wind, by its speed attracts the clouds. Garuda, by virtue of his power, attracts all the birds. Same way, Hanuman, by virtue of his speed and size, attracted all the wind currents, the water, the clouds, whatever the birds in the sky, all of them were attracted to him and they moved forward with him. That's how we should understand this particular shloka. Okay, is it clear? The traditional commentators don't really get into the shlokas for me to even refer from there. Giri book says birds, branches and all, but I don't know where the branches are there in the middle of the ocean. So we must take it to understand that there was a gravitational pull attracted by him as he moved forward. That's what it basically means. Prakarshan, force of attraction. Okay, that was being exerted by him. Okay, meaning clear? Have a doubt, you can ask. Okay, so we'll move forward. I'm not criticizing the Giri book. The Giri book is an excellent book. It's an invaluable book. Just that when there are small things that I feel I'm not able to explain or understand, I'm just trying to get the precise meaning. Because many times in English translation, precise meanings are often lost. Everybody's. Could be mine also, everybody's. Okay, 1 second. Slow. Oh, okay. We have finished with this presentation. Until then, let us go back